Hey guys, this is Matt the MurfDogg Murphy, and I'm here to make a video for you guys. I want to show you guys all the steps and processes I use when preparing to mount tires. I'll go through wheel prep, tire prep, and then how I recenter my inserts and such. For this video, I'm going to use some Mugen yellow 2.2 buggy wheels. I already did all my raw speeds. I ordered some Mugens just to test them out. See what I thought about them, and then I'm going to use some J-Concept Smoothie Chew tires. As far as tools and supplies, I got my trusty 2004 Duratrax body reamer. If you've ever had one of these, you'll know this is the greatest body reamer ever produced. Still sharp after all these years. This right here is my trusty $1.37 Harbor Freight leather punch. Isopropyl alcohol, I use 99%. That way it stings my cuts in my fingers really good, so I know I'm doing a good job. But you put a little extra work in, it goes a long way. I got a microfiber for cleaning the tire sidewalls, and I got my trusty Monster. Can't do a video without a Monster. Ooh, best sound in all of motorsports. Oh, there's nothing like the first sip of a nice white Monster. All right, first things first. I'm gonna take the body reamer to this rear wheel. So all I'm looking to do here is take off the outer edge. Almost every time you have a injection molded wheel, you get a little bit of flashing right on the edge. I'm not going real far with it, just kind of a couple rotations, and you'll feel when it kind of bottoms out and just clears that up. I'll go to the inside, do the same thing on that edge. Like I said, I'm not taking off a whole bunch of material, just enough. Just enough to open that up so it doesn't bind on the axle going in. And I take my existing holes and bring them out, make them a little bit bigger. Do you need to go bigger? It's a preferential thing, but these wheels feel rather soft. This is the first time I've actually used one of these, but they're really soft plastic. So I end up right about a 1/4 inch hole. This one's fighting me. There we go. About a 1/4 inch hole there. I'll come back on this side. Same thing, about a 1/4 inch hole. And then when you're all said and done, it'll look similar to these. 1/4 inch hole on each side. A little bit of edge taken off both sides. Same thing on the fronts. You can see I got these ones done. I run bigger holes than pretty much everybody out there. Do you need to do that? Not necessarily, just what I do. As long as you have holes in your wheels, you're doing better than someone that doesn't, because then you can't have air pressure buildup. But I do bigger holes, and I do more and bigger holes in my tires also, which I'll get into showing you guys here shortly. So next up, I'm gonna bust out some fronts here, Smoothie Chew fronts. So J-Concept stuff. These ones come in a nice little Ziploc baggie. I did get a bunch of Smoothie 3s that aren't in sealed bags, and they have holes in the bags, which is really odd. Apparently they're coming from a different factory, and they're made of different rubber, it seems, since one's made in Taiwan and one's made in China. I'm assuming they're not going to be identical rubber from different factories, and so it is what it is. So Smoothie 2, this is a standard sidewall. Actually, this one's a thick sidewall. Yep, thick sidewall front tire. So what I like to do is find the side that has the compound marking. So you see the silver dot. So these are silvers. So what I do is I make 4 2mm holes, which is 5/64 if you have a standard sized punch. So what I do, it's gonna be hard to see here. There's a J-Concepts logo. I go one here, one on the opposite side. So basically you figure 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and do one at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So as I'll punch these real quick, I'll show you guys. Try to get right there on the sidewall. You end up with a bunch of little rubber punch outs, and then try to get centered back up. So right there, and let's get the opposite side right there. So now I've got 4 2mm holes punched in there for the insert. You just like to inspect them, make sure there's no cuts or tears, make sure that they're uniform all the way around. So once that's said and done, before I get there, let me clean this inside, or the side walls, the mounting surfaces. So I'll pour some alcohol on a rag and literally just spin the tire in the alcohol with the microfiber. You see a nice wet clean surface. Same thing opposite side. So these tires here don't have a whole bunch of mold release on them, while others do. So those cleaned up really nice. They feel really good. So I'm gonna put the lid on this because I'm known to knock some things over time to time. As soon as you leave it on, you're like, oops, what did I just do? So I'm gonna put this insert back in. I'm just working it back inside. I guess I should have talked about it. I fold it in half, shove it in, work it around. So now you got a really sloppy, not centered insert inside the tire. So this is my trick for that. I take 2 fingers, slide in this side, take a thumb, and I just stretch and pull. Just work it like this, flip it over. Now my insert is very, very, very straight all the way around. It's no major secret, it's just how I've always done it. Take a front wheel. I always put my 4 dots to the inside of the wheel. Slide this guy on. So I'll always seat my inside sidewall first. Let's work it all the way around. And get that in there nice and good. And I verify that my outer sidewall is where I need it. This one actually basically fell into place. And I'll work this till the tire is pretty well centered. So right now we're a little high on this side. Now we're looking pretty squared up right there. And if I rotate from where you're at, if I rotate it, you kind of see the sidewall's got an equal level up along the horizon of the wheel. So that's how you know you're straight. And then this is the final trick. There's nothing really special about it. I just work it between my hands and it evens out where the insert is, helps everything get nice and square. It's no real voodoo. It's just when I do a lot of tires, it takes some time. So that's the front tire right there. Wheel is now reamed, prepped, ready to go. Tires punched, tires cleaned, cleaning surface cleaned. That guy's about ready to go. If I was ready to glue, if I had my glue out, I'd pop a tire band on here, just like so. I like the J Concept satellite tire bands. These are the pink ones, obviously. They kind of match my cars. Boom, ready to glue. When it's glue time, I peel that back, drop some glue in there. Good to go. I'm gonna set the other front tire aside. I'm gonna show you guys the rear tire now. It's basically the exact same thing, but I'm just gonna show you that too, just so we're all on the same page. So this is a Smoothie 2, the rear tire. There's no sidewall differences for any of these ones. So first things first, I'm gonna go through and punch my 12, 6, 3, and 9 o'clock. Do your best to make sure you watch where those little rubber punches come out, because they can get between the tire and the insert and give you a funky hard spot or high spot. They're pretty small, but you still, so basically line these up so these now become 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And we're gonna go punch 6 o'clock right here. And then we'll rotate it, and then we'll go find our 12 o'clock hole, which is now 6 o'clock as I have it rotated to you. So learning how to read a clock is helpful. One of those things you learn in your kindergarten. Works out. So I got my four holes punched. Next I'm gonna take some alcohol. Still got some on here. I'm gonna roll the sidewall, get her nice and cleaned up. Like I said, these things are pretty clean from the factory. I've had some silvers that were absolutely covered in white, yellow, or white grayish powder. And I've had some from other companies that are just absolutely brown and covered in nasty stuff. So certain times you'll get stuff that's really pretty and some nasty. Sometimes we'll do 4 tires and it'll be brown. So it kind of varies over time. Same thing, gonna inspect my insert, make sure everything looks good. All the recess cuts in here and everything looks pretty good. The heights of all the blocks look pretty similar. So I don't see any issues with this insert. So I'm gonna get it ready to put it in. I'm gonna fold it in half. Slide it inside the tire and just kind of work it so you get it in there. Flip that up. Tug on it a little bit. So one thing you want to make sure you do is you don't rip the insert, because that'll basically make your tire useless until you get another insert. So I do my little trick here, my thumb, 2 fingers, twist it around, flip it. And that is pretty well centered up right there. Obviously this is a side that's not punched. Got my 4 punches here, 12, 6, 3, and 9. Looking good. I'm gonna grab a wheel. I'm gonna start inserting this in here. Again, I'm gonna go to my inside sidewall first. Try to get it, basically I call this the initial seating, and get it kind of seated in there. And then the other side, these ones both just pretty much popped in, but that sidewall's in there pretty good. I like where it's at. The wheel, it's a little bit offset to the outside, so I'm gonna straighten out a little bit. So what I do is I grab the wheel with my 3 fingers here, and I use my thumb and my palm to kind of pull the actual tread of the tire towards the inside. And now it looks much better centered up all the way around. Still seated everywhere, so I'm just going to work on the insert, try to center it up. And verify that we're still everywhere we need to be. So now the insert looks perfectly seated. I've got a nice consistent shape to the tire. Both sidewalls are nice and uniform. Everything looks good. I'm gonna grab my tire band, pop it on here. Try to get it lined up. So one way, when I put my bands on here, I try to get them even. I try to have about 1/8 of an inch between the center seam and the bottom of the band. That way I know I got consistent pressure all the way around. Once you know you got that on there pretty good, you know you're pretty straight. On the rears, you're gonna have approximately 5 to 6 millimeter all the way around. So it kind of gives you a reference point, but you just want that line right there, right in the center seam of the tire, to be pretty much in line with the tire band. And it gives you a nice consistent, as I spin this, you have an equal amount of tire sticking out of the band, so you have a constant pressure on the sidewall. Makes gluing a little more even. These little steps here make it so when your tire is mounted up and glued up, you're more likely to have a tire that doesn't wobble. My buddies had a tire last weekend at a race that we were at, and I thought his left rear was broken because his car had like this wobble, and it's just a bad glue job. I'm not gonna name names, but you know who you are. That's how I do my buddies. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. You know I'll answer them. One thing I like to remind you guys, I have no secrets. I'm here to help you guys. If I can do anything to help you guys enjoy your program better and get faster, please ask away. Anything I know is your knowledge too. So thank you guys. Have a good night.